So it's great to see you all. Thank you so much. My name is Michael Smith, the National Consumer Education Manager of Janome, Canada, and I'm here from the Janome Sewing and Learning Center in Oakville, Ontario, for another edition of Janome's Magical Machine Mystery Tour. So yes, what could it be? And then, what could it be? I love Tanya's artwork. That's so wonderful. So our machine today, you've seen Tanya's cute little post, and then yes, we have another clue. This is a machine that comes with Stitch Composer software. You know, a number of our machines do come with this fabulous Stitch Composer software. It is a disk to load to your PC. It does not work with Mac. It has to be a PC, but you can download this to your computer. Here, I have a laptop, but it can work for a regular desktop. You download it into your computer, and it allows you to create your own stitches. Now, I always suggest to people, they say, I can't draw, but you can even upload an image, and you can trace around it. Or again, you just start with your name. So here I just composed my name, Mike, in Stitch Composer, and then you save it to a USB and you plug it into the USB port in the machine, and then boom, you're able to stitch out however you wish, your creative stitches. So that's very cool. Again, comes with a number of our machines. The S7 and the S9, 15,000. 9400, and our fabulous, let's spin around. The machine we're going to talk today is the fabulous 9450. So yes, the Stitch Composer software comes with it. You can see my beautiful daylight lamp up here. This is the Slimline floor lamp. Tanya says it looks like a big lightsaber. So I love it because then it really washes down light, in the front of my sewing machine. The wonderful thing of the 9450 is we've got 9 LED lights all around here. So it illuminates the beautiful 11-inch throat space from the right of the needle here. We've got 11 inches. This is the built on the Horizon platform, and all the Horizon machines, like the 8200 and 8900, the 12,000, 15,000, they're all built on this Horizon platform. So 11 inches of throat space. So that is beautiful. Comes with this fabulous extension table. So give you lots more room to support whatever project you're sewing with. Hello everyone. Thank you for joining me. Which is great. This is a sewing and quilting machine. There is no embroidery built into the 9450. So if you would like a dedicated embroidery machine, like the 550E, then that is great. Or again, if you're not into embroidery at all, you're just going to do, crafts and garment sewing and quilting, then the 9450 is for you. So fabulous extension table included. This is great. I have my machines all up on tables, much like this, at home. So I really appreciate having the extension table included. Again, a lot more room to support your projects. My daughter heard your voice. She loves it. Oh, that's so cute. Thank you. Asked if you would narrate her life. Oh, why, thank you. That would be wonderful. Actually, I had been approached previously if I would do some voiceover work. And I always thought I really should have pursued that. I think that would be a lot of fun. So yes, with our fabulous 9450, there we go. Comes with an instructional DVD. Make sure to review that. It will really tell you a lot about the machine. And as always, the instruction manual. Now make sure you review that as well. They give you a lot of information in your instruction manual. Not only written, but also, look, lots of pictures, very detailed pictures of your screen, your beautiful LCD screen. So again, lots of information in there. Just take the time to read it. I always suggest to people, when you get a new machine at home, you open the instruction manual, get a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, and just read a couple of pages a night, and it's amazing how quickly it will go. Ooh, very important on how to thread the bobbin and how to load it into your lay-in bobbin area there. Now, when I talked about Stitch Composer, if you've never tried, or again, not that familiar with it, Stitch Composer is going to be one of the classes I'm going to be offering next year from the Janome Sewing and Learning Center online classes. We still don't know when. We may welcome people back in person, but again, next year I'm going to go on with a whole new bunch of online classes, so you can write me classes at janome-canada.com to be put on that list, and in the new year there will be a whole new lineup of classes. So that will be great to get you familiar with your Stitch Composer. Now, also what comes with your machine, this fabulous goodie box. Let me set it up here. I'm trying to get more comfortable filming alone. It's much easier when I have Tanya here, though, I must admit. So yes, this fabulous accessory case. And then, look at all those beautiful presser feet, all those goodies. There's room for your extra needle plates. The 9450 does come with your regular zigzag needle plate, but it also comes with your straight stitch needle plate and your fabulous HP high performance needle plate with the little hole oriented to the left. So that is great. When you snap in that HP needle plate, then the machine recognizes that. And then, yes, it comes with the fabulous HP 2 foot. This is the machine, the 9450 was the machine that debuted this fabulous HP 2 foot. So it's got the power of AccuFeed, which I always say is like a built-in walking foot on steroids. So it's got the AccuFeed capabilities of feeding in all your thicker layers, or again, if you're trying to match, plaids or detailed sewing, then you've got the AccuFeed for that. But because it is this perfect, scant 1/4 of an inch, then that's great. This has become my new favorite 1/4 inch piecing foot. And then you can see it has some markings. For example, there is your center needle, and then there is a 1/4 of an inch marked on your foot, so you know exactly where to pivot your fabric, for example. So I demonstrated the HP needle plate and HP foot, the HP 2 foot, all of that. There is a video on the Janome HQ YouTube channel all about the HP needle plate and feet, so you can go back to review that. It does come with your standard big twin or dual holder of your AccuFeed Flex with your AD foot comes included, but then you can get a lot of the replaceable feet, or I often refer to these as shoes, that you can replace them and put them on your foot holder. So you can contact your fabulous Janome dealer to get, there's a 1/4 inch one, there's a stitch in the ditch one, there's an open toe one, there's so many different available feet for this twin or dual AccuFeed Flex foot holder. So again, contact your Janome dealer for those. Oh, hello. Oh, and so be it Clothier. Hello, hello. I love to see you. Sewing Box Somerset. I love it. Thank you. Wonderful to see you all. So again, there's your fabulous accessories. And again, they're all listed in your instruction manual, so whenever you get a new machine, make sure that you check out what's included in it all. But one thing I really wanted to show you all, one of the accessories included with your machine is this fabulous cloth guide. I absolutely love this. Now, in our machines like the S9 and the 15,000, and as an optional accessory for the 9850, there is a cloth guide that works with the embroidery carriage, with the embroidery capabilities of those machines. And this is a similar cloth guide, but it is manual. So in your extension table, And again, machines like, I think 8200, 8900, I believe, have the same cloth guide included, or it is an optional accessory if it didn't come included in your machine. But in the extension table, there's a little notch back here, and there is a little groove right along here. So this will allow you to clip in this cloth guide just around the free arm bed of the machine, and now you can position this cloth guide up to 4 inches away from your center needle position. And again, conveniently on the bed of your machine, it may be hard to see there, but there's a 4-inch mark there. So ultimately, if you're doing a home deck, let's say, and you're doing a really deep hem of either a garment, or let's say, again, for home deck, for curtains, and you're going to do a nice deep hem, then you can position this cloth guide away and stitch perfectly parallel. Or if you're a garment sewer, on our patented needle plate here, there is a 5/8 inch mark on our needle plate, and you can line up your cloth guide. There's also the 5/8 of an inch mark here on your bobbin cover, conveniently. So the cloth guide allows you to line up right up against the marking plate of your needle plate. Again, great if you're a garment sewer, because now when I do my piecing, again, most of our commercial patterns are a 5/8 of an inch seam. So I can line that up just where I need it to. And just with a regular straight stitch, there is my perfect straight line, so long as you keep it against the guide here. So it allows you more control, and you can really go. I've got my machine set at medium speed. There is the slider to set it up all the way up. Ooh, I'm trying to keep my hands out of the way. This machine will sew 1,060 stitches per minute, so that is quite fast. And again, we've got a lot of our other controls that every sewer loves, with your automatic scissors and your automatic presser foot lift, your needle up and down, the lock stitch, reverse, stop start button, which a lot love. Ooh, and speaking of lighting, yes, not only do we have our beautiful 9 LED lights all washed around here, look, ooh, this is the headlight. So when you need a little bit more light on the subject, this beautiful headlight extends out. So how great is that? I particularly like it. Yes, if you're going to try to see something, really intricate, but, sometimes you do have to use the seam ripper that does come included in your accessory case. So by having this little extra light down on the bed of your machine helps when you've got to remove those little stitches. So the headlight is great. So that's fabulous. But also included with your accessories, so when I'm done with my cloth guide here, I just remove it to its home position and just tip it up, and then away I go. So I can remove that. So it's a really useful accessory. One, surprisingly, most people do not take advantage of. So I thought I should show that. And then again, my beautiful seam line. Now, another accessory I wanted to show everyone that comes with your machine is this fabulous knee lift. Let me get it all here so you can see. Oh, and then yes, also included in the machine, this big extra large foot control and the little side cutter, the little remote cutter here. You can step on that and that will trim your threads as well, so you don't have to go up and reach the scissor button. So that's cool. Now, depending on your flooring, the extra large foot pedal holder really does keep your foot pedal in place. But if you don't have either this big extra large foot foot pedal holder, or again, depending on your flooring, maybe you need a little bit extra help to keep that foot pedal in place. So in position, I have, from Janome's So Comfortable line, the non-slip foot pedal pad. And it's quite large. You can see it's 10 by 14. And what it is this grippy surface that is a very stiff board covered with this grippy, non-slip surface. It's really ingenious, like so simple, but it stops that foot pedal, whatever your foot pedal is. It stops the foot pedal from, sliding all over the floor. We've got this low pile, looped pile carpet here at the Janome Sewing and Learning Center, and I find it is a little slippery, even though it is carpet, but because it's a very short pile and it is looped, it is a little slippery. So it's nice having the big extra large foot control, or again, the extra security of that so comfortable non-slip foot pedal pad. But also included in your accessories is this knee lift. Now, did you know in a lot of our knee lifters, if you adjust this screw, you can reposition where this knee lifter extends, basically. So I've loosened my screw. You'll see that's where the knee lifter is, but I've loosened the screw, and then I can just pull it down, whoops, without removing it from my machine. Then I can pull it down to the end, and you see how the knee lifter is now extended a little closer to my leg. So that means I will have a little bit more sensitivity to the knee lifter, that I can activate it more easily. Now, some people even put like a big pool noodle around this knee lifter. So then again, depending on where their chair sits, in relation to the knee lifter, the big pool noodle may help. Or again, I find I don't need one. I can just adjust that screw and position the angle of my knee lifter closer to my knee. And why I'm going to do that is this fabulous technique called variable zigzag, included with your 9450, and again, this also comes with our MemoryCraft 15,000, and our S9 has variable zigzag, but this foot comes included. It's the QZ foot, and I demonstrated this foot on the A to Z with Janome series. It was the Q episode that I talked about variable zigzag, so you can go back to review that. And variable zigzag is a very fun technique. It is built in to, again, a number of our machines in the sewing applications menu, which is our little t-shirt. And as we scroll through our various categories, the sewing application is basically the machine asking you, well, what do you want to do? So I want to do some quilting, and you'll see the VZZ is variable zigzag. And then here I've got a whole category, variable zigzag, and it shows the knee lifter. And as I use that knee lifter, it's going to vary the width of my zigzag. It's a very cool technique. Now, particularly if you're a more like art quilter, or you wanted to do some thread painting, then this would be so fun to do, or just adds a little bit of a decorative element to a garment or a quilt, tote bags. There's so many different applications to this technique. It's very fun. So I've got several selections here for my variable zigzag. I'm going to scroll through to my last page here, and I've got two different zigzags. One shows like a diamond shape here. As I extend my knee lift, that's going to control the width of this zigzag. Or then I have another zigzag, and you'll see this line is a straight line, but then the variable zigzag goes out to the right. So I'll demonstrate both of these. It's very fun to play around with. Again, your instruction manual does go over more detail of this. But why I like the variable zigzag foot, you'll see it's recommending I use the F foot, which is our satin stitch foot, now included with the machine, or we also have the F2 foot that comes with the machine. And the F2 foot is like the open toe version of the F foot. You'll see there's the regular F foot, and it has like this little bar across there, this little bridge. And even though it's clear plastic, but still some people wanted more visibility, so they didn't want that little bridge in place. And Janome really does listen to feedback. It doesn't necessarily happen overnight, the changes, the feedback, but Janome really does listen. So this is where the open toe satin stitch foot came around, so there's no bar in the way there. But this variable zigzag foot, you can see, really has much better visibility. There's really nothing there. It's got these cute little toes on either side, but you can really see what you're doing, where your needle is swinging. So that's why I like using this variable zigzag foot, is the QZ foot. And you'll see it's much like the T foot, the button sewing foot, in that there is 2 bars on the back of the foot. So first, when you attach it to your foot holder, you need to clip in the back and then swing the foot up into place. If you try just to snap in the usual, up at the front, it's like, that's not going to work. This foot will not be used safely. So you have to make sure that you clip it into the back here first and then clip it up into place. Now, when I'm doing this, hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. It's wonderful to see everyone. So when I'm doing this variable zigzag technique, I like using some very fun, fancy thread. Like this Madeira Poly Neon multicolor thread. Isn't that gorgeous? So many from which to choose. We've also got, the Madeira Poly Neon that conveniently comes in this beautiful box. Available from your Janome dealer. Look at all those gorgeous colors. So I use these for embroidery primarily, but again, whenever I'm doing decorative stitches, as this variable zigzag is, I really want to show it off. So it's a good time to use some thread that perhaps is new to you, like this Madeira Poly Neon, or again, our beautiful iris thread. Look at all that. It's just like candy to me. The iris polyester embroidery thread is also available from your Janome dealer, so you could order that as well. Beautiful rainbow color, any color you can imagine, it's there. Cheryl, you got lost, but now you're back. Oh, excellent. Yes, that is good. Yes, if any time the connection's a little bit weird, I always suggest go out of the Instagram and then sign back in, and it'll refresh, so then it'll work. So your variable zigzag, what is it? It is very cool. So you can see the width of my zigzag changes based on how I move my knee lifter. So I can go in a straight line and the knee lifter is not engaged at all. But as soon as I start putting a little bit of pressure on that knee lifter, that will create the width of the zigzag. So you can really create a lot of different patterns. Most of us use the knee lifter only to raise and lower the foot, the presser foot, but now we can use the knee lifter in another way. I love the stand for their threads for the iris. Yes. Can I get it by itself? Oh, for the iris thread, this comes in a 3. There's 3 tiers, and it is comes in a separate case. There is a almost like a canvas case with a clear plastic window. That's how you get this stand from the for the iris thread. You can contact your Janome dealer, can order that, but it's very beautiful. So this is our variable zigzag. So again, I can do almost like these little, diamond shapes or these little droplet shapes. Or then I can really have some fun, which I'll show you all with the settings of your machine. Oh, I can even do some free motion variable zigzag. It's really cool on what kind of effects that you achieve based on the variable zigzag setting that you select in the machine. And of course, again, your thread, how beautiful that could look. Now you'll see even here, I variable zigzagged. Again, when would you use this application? Well, how about doing something a little bit different on your quilt binding in this case? I bound my quilt and then I stitched in the ditch on one side and did variable zigzag on the other. So that adds a decorative element to my binding. Or, as I got up to this corner and my miter just wasn't turning out as beautiful as I wanted. So I just variable zigzagged right over it. So nobody sees, well, that miter didn't match up as beautiful as I would have liked. So that's a good application for it. Or on this side, what I did here, I was experimenting with this embroidery design, and I always want to do a test when I'm testing out, which thread am I going to use, and, how do I like this embroidery design in this color and such. So I always like to use everything. So here is actually 2 pieces of fabric. I have also 2 pieces of batting, and I joined them by this variable zigzag stitch. Then I thought, again, I'm going to have a joint here. I might as well play it up and do variable zigzag right over it. So that way it becomes like a design element, a design feature. Nobody has to know these are really 2 pieces of fabric. But again, if you're going to join 2 pieces of fabric, you might as well highlight it and variable zigzag right over it. So I think, how cool is that? So there's a lot you can really play around with this technique. So I will get my little sample here. And then what I will do, so in my sewing applications, again, I'm going to do this variable zigzag. And based on how my knee is moving against this knee lifter will be the width of my zigzag. Now, I like to do this with my foot pedal disconnected. I turn down my speed, and then I'm going to use my stop-start button. So you can certainly use your foot pedal as well, but then I find it's just easier. So that way I'm only focusing on moving my knee against the knee lifter. So once I get started here, now we have the 1 stitch stop, which is wonderful. That's controlled in our settings. So I like bringing up the bobbin thread and holding on to that. So it's, oh, sorry, my arm is in the way. I will, oh, sorry. There. So yes, the 1 stitch stop will bring up the bobbin thread, and then away I go. So every time I move my knee against that knee lifter is going to vary the width of my zigzag. So there, if you can see. Now, do you all remember when Suzanne Summers did those Thigh Master commercials? I equate this as like I'm doing a Thigh Master on one leg. I always thought, oh, I love Suzanne Summers. I should send her a video of me saying that about the Thigh Master, and I wonder if then she would be a fan of Janome HQ. Because I just adore her. She's wonderful. So, yeah, so how simple, how easy it is. Now, what kind of shape you want to do with your zigzag, that's up to you. And maybe you can see a little more. So again, if I'm not using my knee lifter at all, I'm just going to get a straight line. And then as soon as I start putting a little pressure on the knee lifter, my zigzag is going to get a little wider. And then I put more pressure on the knee lifter. My knee's going over to the right, and then therefore my zigzag is getting wider. I ultimately have 9 millimeters width because of my machine here, but I can also control that and reduce the width of the stitch. As always, let me stop that. As always, you can go back into your settings with that little triangle, and again, you can reduce the stitch length or width. Then you can increase the stitch length or decrease it. And then here in your settings, I've got it to 9 millimeters. But if I wanted to do a smaller, more narrow zigzag, I can also change that here in the settings. So again, how easy is that? Now this zigzag is going to be stitching in a straight line to the left, and to the right is where the variable zigzag is going to take place. So how cool is that? And especially, ooh, this is really a great use of this multicolor thread, because you can really see the bars of the thread of where the color changes. So it's very cool. It's very fun. So the main thing is, again, on a beautiful day like today, I know you may want to get out and enjoy some of that sunshine, but then when it starts, snowing yesterday, then I thought, oh, that's a perfect day to get inside and do some sewing and, you know, play with your machine. So again, I'm just going to vary the width and how quickly and easily that can do. You could mark your fabric to exactly position where you're going to extend it. Again, I could do this all day. This is why my Instagram lives end up turning a little long, because I get so engrossed in what I'm doing. Like, look how fun that is. That is so cool. Or then we can go into more of our sewing applications here. Some other variable zigzags. We can go back to the free motion ones here. It's recommending I use the QV foot, which is our big clear view foot for free motion quilting. The QZ foot or QZ foot, again, will also hover over the fabric, so I can use that foot for my variable zigzag. But because this is free motion, I now want to drop my feed dogs. And now you can go in any direction since this is free motion. Now, again, it is going to do that one stitch stop, but I'm not going to bother to bring up my bobbin. But normally I would, and then that way it's nice and neat on the back, and I'm not going to get any thread nesting or anything. Just for time's sake, I won't bother here. But again, this is now, this is now free motion. So, here I talked about that QV foot, and I just noticed, oh my gosh, I didn't change my foot. You can see you can also do variable zigzag with your regular foot, but then yes, I want to switch to this foot because I can see, yes, you see, I've got way more visibility with that QZ foot. Oh my gosh. Again, I just get so wrapped up in doing all this, I didn't even notice. But yes, now this is free motion, so now you can do the variable zigzag however you wish, in whatever shape. And again, if you're not engaging that, if you're not engaging the knee lifter, it'll just go straight. And then as soon as you start engaging the knee lifter, you'll get that zigzag. And again, I had my machine cranked up to 1,060 stitches per minute. But you could certainly adjust. Typically when I do this, the variable zigzag, I do reduce my speed. But how cool is that for your free motion quilting? So how about you experiment with some variable zigzag the next time you want to do some free motion quilting, and you can use, yes, that QZ foot or QZ foot, so you have greater visibility up here at the needle. And how cool is that? It's another element, decorative element. Again, it's already built into your fabulous 9450, and it's a lot of fun. So there is your machine. Again, I could go on and talk about all afternoon. Do you need the blue dot bobbin cake for this type of free motion? Oh, Sandra, that's a great question. Depending on your application. Now this, I just have the regular bobbin holder in the machine. I've got, oh yes, my fabulous Madeira stabilizer on the back whenever you're going to do the decorative stitches, or in this case variable zigzag, that you want to at least use a stabilizer. This is one of the iron-on stabilizers from the Madeira stabilizer starter pack that I always talk about. And again, that is available from your Janome dealer. So for sure you want to at least use the stabilizer, but if you were going to quilt through all layers and have like your batting and backing, or to at least have your backing showing, you know, this piece would be covered by, if this were like on a jacket, let's say, I would have a lining that would cover this, so I wouldn't need to worry about what the back looks like ultimately. But if you were going to do the free motion and quilt it through all layers, then yes, I always recommend that blue dot bobbin holder for free motion quilting. It will help eliminate any kind of the eyelashing. And I use, and that's another thing that reminds me, for this variable zigzag, I like using the Janome purple tip needle. Is the flared head, cobra head needle with its flared head, separates the fibers of the fabric and then has the needle thread reach down to the bobbin thread more readily. So particularly, again, for free motion quilting or quilting through more layers, I like the purple tip needle. The red tip would work perfectly fine as well. They're both size 14. Red tip has a nice sharp point. That would be fine for this application. Where, again, I'm doing my variable zigzag and then I'm going to line it of some kind. But you can see, like, how beautiful, even the backside, like this is beautiful to show as well. Again, if this were a garment, I would end up lining it. I certainly wouldn't want to see my stabilizer. But yes, you could certainly do free motion quilting through all layers. And then, yes, I would use that blue dot low tension bobbin holder anytime you're doing free motion quilting. So yes, that is your variable zigzag. So yes, thank you, everyone. Again, I know that goes by so fast. There's so much more to do. But the main thing is that, yes, if you have this fabulous machine to go and play with it, if you're interested in, double check with your Janome dealer. As I've explained many times on Janome HQ before, ooh, hello, machines are at a premium. Machines availability are at a premium now, you know, because the pandemic, and Janome is trying to get the machines out there to the dealers and therefore out to the consumers as quickly as they can. But a lot of our machines are in back order. So just to be patient, if you're looking for a new machine, again, double check with your Janome dealer. They may have one in stock, but if not, they can certainly order it for you. And then as soon as it's available, it will be shipped out directly. So lots of fun to play, lots of alternatives out there. So thank you, everyone. I hope you have a fabulous day. Thank you so much for joining me. It's wonderful to stay connected this way. I hope it's a beautiful day and sunny where you are. You're learning so much and refreshing for what I already know. Oh, wonderful. Thank you, Cheryl. It's great. Yes, I so enjoy sharing the Janome love. Oh, thank you, Sandra. I wish you a wonderful afternoon as well. Thank you, everyone, for joining me, and I will see you all next week for another Janome's Magical Machine Mystery Tour. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.